Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Q&A about the iWorkinSport convention and job fair that will take place in just a little more than 2 weeks now. Um, I hope that you're excited about it. We are. This is probably the earliest that we ever done this session before. Usually it's just a few days before the event or maybe with a week to go. But yeah, I'd like to give you as much information in advance to help you prepare for this event as possible. So, all right, um, this should take maybe a little more than 30 minutes, around 45 minutes. If there's questions from you, I'll be here to answer them. The way that we're going to do this, I'm actually going to show. I never did this before, but I will show you all the questions that we have prepared, we have collected, even from previous years. So we do have frequently asked questions that I'm going to address first, and then as you send your comments, your questions, I will answer to them as well. Okay. Well, as you can see, my name is Joao Frigerio. I'm the founder of iWorkinSport. So I'm very glad that you are here with me today. I will also bring a guest today, someone that was at the event last year and that we actually hired from the event, is now is working with us, but she will also share some perspectives of being a candidate at the event. So Muskan Jawad Hussein will talk with us as well. So let's get to that. Actually, before I show you the questions that I'm going to address first, I'm going to ask you two things, right? This is obviously an interactive session. So if you can already maybe post in the comments your names or where you're watching from. I know that there's a lot of people traveling to come to the event here in Switzerland. So let me know. And also maybe write in the comments if you are already registered or if you're maybe considering registering. Uh, and then I'll be able to, give you the information you need more accurately. Okay, so um, let me just pass here very quickly. What are the things that I'm going to discuss with you? Maybe 10 or so questions. We're going to see, what is the American Sport Convention Job Fair, how it works, what are the companies hiring at the events, and for what roles, the time, obviously, of the event, what time it starts, what time it ends, um, if anyone can attend, or if it's just for people linked to universities and courses. But people ask me about, the online version of this job fair. I will tell you more about that. How can you apply for job interviews? Um, what if you don't get invited in advance for a job interview? Then what do you do? Right? Um, we will tell you about if you're going to be interviewed or not, if there's any guarantee that gonna get a job attending the job fair. Gonna go over the program. It's not completely finalized, but I'll give you a good sense of what it's going to look like, how you can access the events, and the dress code, and also at the end, stay until the end because I'm going to share some advice with you how you can make the most out of the events. I'm going to ask Muskan to help me with that as well. All right. So let me already start by, um, talking about the iWorking Spark Convention Job Fair, how it works. Before I do that, just I have Atul uh, watching. You can tell me where what you're watching from, Atul. Gianluca, I think you're in Italy, right? Jan Karen is watching from Lille, I guess. He's the professor from Goals Master, where Muskan is from. He's asking if this meeting is being recorded. Yes, this is being recorded, Ian, and you will be able to, people can watch the replay after for sure. Okay. All right. Now, the Work and Sport Convention Job Fair is very simple, something designed to bring recruiters and candidates. Right. It's almost like a trade fair. Um, as you could see in the video at the beginning, the space will have several stands from companies that will be recruiting at the event. I will tell you who they are in a minute. I think we have 17, I think, companies confirmed at the moment. Perhaps we're going to have one more coming from, half is coming from Switzerland, half is coming from abroad, from Europe, from Africa, from the Americas, from, yeah, US and Canada, Brazil as well. So companies coming from all over the world. The idea is, so how it works: once you're registered, you will be able to apply for interviews in advance, right? Uh, Companies will review your application. If they're interested, they will invite you for an interview. Um, the day is divided in 15 slots of 20 minutes. So starting in the morning, the first one, there is a presentation before, so we open at 8:30, uh, and well, and then for arrival and registration, I'll give you more details about that later, on the timings. But imagine that we start at 10, 10:20, 10:40, 11, 15 slots of 20 minutes where they will be having interviews. Most of them will be pre-booked, but all companies are also leaving some space to meet with you, even if you didn't book an interview in advance. Okay. In parallel to this exhibit area where you'll be able to meet every recruiter that is there and every company that is there, there will also be presentations at the auditorium, right? We start with a couple of panels, and then companies will be presenting, what it's like to work at companies like Adidas, in front at Spot5, at FIBA, and many others. Okay, we're gonna go through the program in a bit. So if any of this is not very clear, uh, put the questions in the comments, and I'll get back to them. Okay, but the event is that it's a one day, full day. You're there meeting recruiters. You can apply in advance. They will invite you for interviews. Even if they don't invite you for an interview, you'll be able to meet with them anyway, and perhaps even get an interview during that day. Okay. Um, I'll go to more maybe details a little later. Um, so let's go already to what companies are hiring and for what roles. Now, the first question is very easy to answer. I'll show you the list. The roles that they're hiring for, they're posting one by one. So usually we get the positions um, uh, in these last 2 weeks. They start posting a month before, more or less, a few of them, and then when it comes to the last 2 weeks, it's when the jobs start really arriving here. So what I'm going to do is I'll actually share my screen with you. So screen, right. So this is what you see, for instance, when you go to iWorkinSport.com/job fair, right? And if you scroll down a little, you will see the list of confirmed recruiters. So we have Adidas, CAF, the African Football Confederation, ECA, the European Club Association, FEI, the Equestrian Federation, International FIBA, basketball, in front, Volleyball World, Sport 5, in front of Sport 5 are big agencies. Come On Sport, much smaller agency, but is growing. It's super interesting business. We have the FC Lausanne Sport, the club here from Lausanne, playing in the Super League in Switzerland. Football Access Summit is a growing event from Egypt. They have hosted very, very successful events there for 2 years already. So they are growing massively and will be recruiting here. Another growing company that is internationalizing is Confoot. They they are a massive soccer business event in South America. They're hosting their first event in the US in more or less 1 month from now, in the middle of June. So they will be here, with some opportunities for people that want to collaborate with them. Link Sport is a super interesting technology company doing something on the social side as well, with sponsoring young athletes. Sponsorium has been in the business for many, 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 many years. We will be recruiting again. As I said, we have Muskan here with us. She'll join. We actually exhibited and recruited at our event twice, and we still have them with us. Andrew is in Bangkok now, so he does some part time with us. It's an American guy living there. Muskan was until recently in Paris. She's from Pakistan, and we'll be looking for more talent there. We will be there again, and so will Wiz Team, super growing company in the technology space in sport. So these are the companies that will be there. In terms of the positions that they will be recruiting for, uh, I will show you also later. So if you haven't registered, I will show you how to register before. But if you are, then you can enter the event, and you will see these are the jobs that are already sort of posted, right? You can see it either here or when you go to the iWorkinSport.com/job fair. Um, there will be the job opportunities that have been posted here as well. So FIBA, they have an invitation for spontaneous applications. So is the ECA, and so is the FEI. So this is in order. The Football Access Summit, recruiting for a few. So you can see, even if you haven't registered yet, you can go and see what the positions are. Okay, that at the moment. Having said that, when you are registered to the event, then you have access to this page as I entered, and then you can see more details. For instance, um, here, say, Volleyball World, they look for a creative solutions manager. Give it as an example. Then you have the actual job description and how to apply, all that. All right. So this is how it works once you're there. Uh, these are the jobs that have been posted at the moment. Some are very specific. Uh, FIBA, for instance, is looking for a couple of interns, while the Volleyball World is looking for more senior people, senior sales manager, creative solutions managers, and a few other roles. And it will vary. I will give you, because it's still early in the process. They will still we will be posting now. We started to do it daily. Okay, uh, I'll give you a sense of what it was last year. So at Adidas, you had actually multiple ones. So CAF had 7 or more last year. Come on Sports, Elevate. There were many roles last year, just to give you a sense. So don't worry. In this next 2 weeks, there will be more opportunities coming. There are sometimes, companies that participate at the event, and they might not be recruiting right now, okay? And or they're already closing a process right now. So what they will do sometimes, they know that they will be recruiting in a few months' time, and they want to meet good candidates. That's why many of them will open invitations for spontaneous applications, right? So here, um, a text inviting you to apply, for instance, in the case of FIBA and the Equestrian Federation, same thing. They tell you more or less what they're looking for, and then you can apply even without specific job description. That's why they're participating at the event. They're really interested in meeting talent. Okay. Let me this. Um, in terms of what time is the event, as I said, we open the doors at 8:30. You will be welcome to for arrival, accreditation. There will be some breakfast there, some coffee, croissants. You get acclimatized, and then we actually kick off the program at 9:30. There will be a similar presentation with more details of how the day is going to play out, and then in the auditorium we will continue with panels and and um, and the presentations, and in the exhibition area uh, with the exhibition where you can meet all of them. All right. Can anyone attend the event, or is it for students and graduates of sports management programs only? Anyone can attend the event. Of course, the majority of people attending are people that are currently in these programs. We partnered with many of them, so the majority will be coming from those programs. But if you're interested and you're not associated or affiliated to any of these programs, you're also welcome to do it. Um, and I think there will be a question later about how you can do that. But then I'll show you later how you can actually go and purchase a ticket. Oh, is someone asked me about the online version. Yes, indeed, we do have an online version. So let me show you how that will work. So if we go back to here, the website, right? So once you, just so you know again, once you enter the page of the event and once you're already registered, you can simply go and click here, enter the event, and then you will see the schedule. Or you could have actually gone to the schedule even before entering there. Anyway, you're gonna see this. This will be updated soon with more details of which each session. So I'm going to show you what it looks like last year. So for instance, at the auditorium, we had the opening, and then the first panel, and then second panel. On the website or in the app on your phone, you'll be able to access the schedule, and there will be a button for you to watch the live stream. So those presentations will be live streamed, right? So you open something like this, and then once the live stream and it looks like and panels and all that, so you will be able to participate. And as you can see here on the side, there was people can also send questions and comments. And then if you're watching it and if you have a question in particular, you can send it here, and the MC at the event will be able to go and ask your question for you. All right. So this is how the online version works. Now, so if for some reason I can't be there in person and I can only do the online thing, can I still apply for jobs? Yes, you can. But what will happen is that the recruiters will certainly give preference to interview people in person, right? Having said that, if when your application is really, really good and your profile matches what they're looking for, they might actually invite you for an interview, maybe at a different day because they'll be very busy during the event, maybe a few days before, maybe a few days after. But we had a couple of cases last year of people that uh, who couldn't attend in person in the end, just attended online and still had a job interview with one of the recruiters. Okay. So how can you apply for the interviews? I think I already showed you, right? You go to the list where the jobs are listed, click on the link, follow the process, then they will get back in touch with you. Or if you don't get invited for any interviews, it's not a problem. Go there, enjoy the events. Actually, don't make the whole event, only about getting a job or not. There's much more to it than it. Obviously, that's the cherry in the cake, right on top of the cake. But the reality is that, as I said, we have about 17, I think, companies confirmed. If everybody hires one person, so 100% conversion, it looks great. It means that they will be getting about 17 people hired. Even if we go to 20, there's more than 200 candidates there. So will be less than 10% of people going to the event actually getting a job, right? From it. However, you get plenty of advice. You have the opportunity to connect with the recruiter, get some advice from them. So if you apply for that company in a few months time and you made a good impression, you know great for you. It might count in your favor, or the advice that you get from one recruiter might be very useful for an application that you do with someone else. There's the context that you make, what you learn at the auditorium. So it's not only about having a job. Having said that, going back to the question, we had people that had actually applied for jobs, got a rejection response, say, sorry, your profile doesn't really match what we're looking for. And once they met the recruiter at the job fair, they were actually able to explain how they think that their skills were quite transferable and could match what they're looking for, and ended up getting a job. So, you know, it will still be very useful. So, will I work in sport tell me if I'll be interviewed? No, we won't. Right, the large majority of times, or if not all times, you'll be applying. Those applications go directly to the recruiters. Most times, we don't even know who's applying for what. So, for several reasons, um, including confidentiality and other things, we don't get involved. So we don't know who is interviewing who. And so it's the recruiters that will follow up with you directly. So is there a guarantee that I'll get a job if I attend the job fair? As I said, no guarantee whatsoever. And yeah, I think the- there's a lot of value in it anyway. And count that it will be difficult. It's not impossible. About 10%, maybe a little less than 10% will actually or people attending the event will get a job directly out of it. But 100% of people will get a lot of insights and benefits from attending for sure. So what's the program of the conference? We will still update the platform with the exact order and times for the companies and their presentations. But in the meantime, let me just check here. We'll tell you already who confirmed to, to present. Just give me 1 minute. So Windows opened. Right. So we will have two panels. One will focus on market trends, what recruiters are looking for, uh, right? And another will focus more on practical and tactical advice. They will be sharing, uh, you know, their views on how you can make your CV stand out, how you can perform well in a job interview. It's usually these are the themes of these first two panels, and then we start several companies presenting them and why it's great to work for them. So we have Adidas is confirmed. I think it's the first one, and Sport Five, FIBA, Infront, Volleyball World will present. Come On Sports, the Football Access Summit, Sponsorium, Confut, and Link Sports are companies that are confirmed. We might add another one or two to that, and we will close the keynote speech this year will be Diederik de Walle. He is the director of football at the European Club Association. So this guy, a very, very good friend. I've known him for many, many years. Been working in the business for over 20 years now. Super experienced with, a lot of good advice to share. So don't miss it. So how you access the event? So the event is in Lausanne or Écublens, actually, just next to Lausanne, but it's the Great Lausanne. It's inside of the university campus at EPFL. You have the address on your ticket. Very easy to get there. There's a metro from the central um, train station. Actually, yeah, you can get to metro from there. It's two lines, but very, very easy to get to the event. Once you're there, um, you have your tickets. You receive that with your registration. If not, any ID will do. We'll have your name in the list anyway, and you'll be able to access the event either with your ticket or with your ID. So are tickets still available? Yes, they are. Let me show you how you can get them. Uh, at the screen here. And I see that there's a few comments here. I'll come to all of you in a second, so please bear with me. I see Alvaro sent a message. Atul, Gabriel, Vanessa, uh, Pav, Anthony, Alena. Thanks for posting. I'll come back to you in a second. So how you can register. So if you go to iWorkinSport.com/job fair, or even at our homepage, you have this banner here. You click, register now. If you actually are in the slash job fair, which is the link in the description of the video, you have to find the button here that says registration, right? So, and you find this page, and then you're gonna simply click register, and then the ticket that you're looking for is delegates, job seekers. The regular delegate pass is this, so 450 francs. Uh, you just select one and then you follow the process. Many of you watching will have some discount codes, right? If you haven't registered yet, still, I mean, associated to your courses, and we have partnered with a few, yeah, partner companies that will give you discounts, and obviously the We Work in Sport community members also were entitled to a discount to delegate pass, right? Uh, if if you want to know what the premium delegate pass is, the difference is that the delegate pass will give you access only on the 9th of May to the job fair. The premium delegates, in addition to that, will give you access to participate in the networking drinks with the recruiters and other academic programs representatives, and participating at the dinner with them. We will be part of the award ceremony that we do for the most attractive employers in sport, all that. So great opportunity to network with the recruiters here. We only have, I think, 5 tickets left in that category. So if you think this is worthwhile, if you're interested, you can still get one of those. All right, this is it. Better. Right. Is there a dress code? We're not really strict with dress codes. If you arrive in a tank top and Bermudas and flip flops, you probably won't get in. But other than that, if you want to wear, more casual attire, jeans and polo, if this is your style and this is what your kind of type of job that you're applying for, you know, you can do that. Most people there will wear business attire, suits. Um, you know, Probably won't need a tie. I won't. I will be wearing a suit without a tie, right? And I would say dress as you would dress when you go for a job interview. Obviously, that also varies depending on the company you're interviewing with. You need to adapt to their culture and all that. But, you know, have that thought in mind, you know, uh, dress, I think, smart and professional. It's would be my advice. Now, this is the last one before I get to your comments and questions. Uh, I will invite Muskan to join me. In fact, just before I do that, let me actually go to the comments and see who is there. Atul, I'm from IE Business School in Madrid, already registered. Great, Atul. Looking forward to seeing you. Um, Salman is watching from Rome. Let's see. Alvaro, hi João Alvaro. I'm from Mexico and actually working in Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain. Looking forward to advancing my career and expanding my network. Already registered. So Alvaro, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Gabriel, França. Hi João, Gabriel watching from Berlin. Already registered. Looking forward to seeing you there too, Gabriel. Uh, Vanessa, watching on LinkedIn, says such a nice list of recruiters. I agree, Vanessa. Glad you liked it. Hello, Pav, from Birmingham. Hope to see you there, Pav. Um, let me know if you can make it. Anthony Jerville, is there a process to follow up to meet recruiters? Uh, Anthony, do you mean after you apply or after the event? If you can actually maybe write the follow up to your question would be easier, because I mean, if you apply for an interview at the job fair and they didn't reply for some reason, you can always check, maybe send a second email just to see if they received your application in the first place. Why not? Note that some of them already mentioned in the applications that they will get back to you only maybe 1 or 2 days before the event. So I wouldn't be bothering them too much. Also, because, as I said, you will have the chance to meet all of them there. So, and as I said, we had people that not only didn't get a reply, but actually got a reply, was rejected, and was able to turn that no into a yes. So the environment there will enable you to speak with all of them and do all the follow up there, right? But then if you're talking about something, follow up after the job fair, I think it will vary. It will depend very much on the conversation that you had with each recruiter there. Okay. Alena says, thank you for the live session. Do you have some tips on how to approach HR people during the fair? Great, Alena. That was the last question that we had prepared, and I'll bring Muskan to help me answer that question for you. 1 minute, because we just had another one. So, Alena, besides Adidas, what competitors' companies will be present in the fair? I hope I can make the event. So, at the moment, we don't have any competitor to Adidas confirmed. Like we had Puma before, then Colombia participated in our virtual event before. We had a very good conversation with another big company today. They would love to come, but the date is not good for them this time. So hopefully the next time. But yeah, the companies that I can tell you, although we are talking to a few others, some other international federations based in Lausanne, for instance, and a couple of other sport marketing agencies as well. But I prefer not to mention any name before we confirm them. I said, can I book a slot with the present companies when attending online? So, Salman, as I said, you can apply for a job. This is a good question, right? So if you're one of the people that can't make it and will only check the attend online and watch the presentations, you can apply for a job like everybody else. Okay, and I recommend that you just apply um, for the interview. If the company gets back to you and invites you for an interview, then you can, if you actually can't come to the event, then you tell them, listen, unfortunately, I won't be able to be there in person. Uh, can we actually have a video call, a video interview, maybe at a different date? And it will depend on them, right? So apply normally, and if you get interest from them, then you ask them if you can do it online. This is my advice. All right, let me get Muskan in. Oh,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me on stage.
Great, great, Muskan. So actually, before there was a question from Alena,
Hmm.
right? So thank you for the live session. You have some tips on how to approach the HR during the fair. We're gonna get to that. It's very similar to the last question that we prepared, right? So what advice would you give to someone to make the most out of the event? Um, I have some tips to share. I know you have as well, but maybe you can introduce yourself, tell a bit about your story. How did you end up at the job fair last year?
Of
So,
course.
yeah, quickly about yourself.
Of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Muskan Jawad Hussain. I did my Goals International Master, and as part of the Masters, we attended the fair for the very first time last year, and I was one of the students who attended the fair. So basically, I went there with an open mind, and I didn't expect anything. I didn't expect to go to the fair and get a job, and that is an advice that I would also like to give to everybody who's attending the fair, because as Joe said, there are possibilities of these companies hiring you, but more than that, there are opportunities to grow, there are opportunities to network, meet other people. So one advice that I would give to everybody is just like go with an open mind, expect to meet people who are relevant to to the industry, expect to meet other people who can help you grow throughout this industry, and just make connections, just learn more about these companies. The sessions happening at the iWorkinSport job fair are really, really nice, because I attended some of them last year, and now coincidentally I'm working with these same companies. I'm partnering with them. So having that background knowledge of all these companies really helps me in my work. So I think you can attend those sessions. You can meet people from other programs as well, sport management programs, because in this industry, connection really matters, relationships really matter. So that is one advice that I would like to give. Specifically, when it comes to job seeking, one thing that I did adopt for myself, and I think that could be really nice for everybody here, is that research the company that is coming, research the job description, actually like read what they're looking for, and then tailor your applications around that job description or around that company. So always have like a cover letter that is customized for this job, always have a CV that is more aligned with the job description. I personally kept different CVs for different organizations and different jobs. I think that could help you stand out. So these are a few advices that I would give according to the job fair. When it comes to job seeking, there are a few more things that I would say, that when you're going there, you are not just looking for jobs. Like I already mentioned, connections, but there are also these sport management programs attending, and you could also look for a PhD, for example. You can also see if there's a sport entrepreneur attending, and you could partner and open your own startup. So I think having that sort of open mind and willingness to connect with other people would really, really help you in this job fair. And for me personally, my experience was amazing. I did end up getting a job at iWorkinSport, but even if I did not, I would still really recommend this to everybody. And I told all my batchmates, I told all my juniors to attend this fair as well, and hopefully they're attending this year. So really, really like a nice experience, was really a big breakthrough for my career as well, to get into that industry, be connected to so many different organizations. I would
Thank,
recommend.
thank you, Muskan. Thank you. So, um, before we actually reply to Alena's specific question on dealing with the HR there,
Yeah.
let me just address this last one, and I think that you already touched in
Mhm.
some points. So basically, there are three things that I want to say, right, for people. One, you already mentioned, is prepare,
Yeah.
right? I'm giving you the names of the companies that will be there before. You will know the positions that they are recruiting for, that they're interested in,
Mhm.
but it's easy for you to go and find out more about the companies, right? How you think that you would fit them. Because what I see, a lot of the interactions with the companies are, people go to their stands and oh, maybe obviously you know UEFA, right? You know FIBA and you know a few others, and you might not know Sponsorium or Link Sport or something like that. But if you go and just ask about the company, people, the person will definitely tell you about the company. They're there for that as well. They want to present their company, but they will repeat. They'll tell you exactly what they told you the person before and before and before. And it's not like they will remember you. You won't be remarkable or anything like that. If you do some research in advance, this for bigger companies, for
Yeah.
smaller companies, and can already make some link on why uh, you could fit them or their culture, or could be working with them. it will already spark interest, right? There's that saying that says that you have only one chance to make a first impression. So try to get
Exactly.
that right. If you just go and ask whatever it's on the websites, they will. Some of them might just direct you to their websites,
Mhm.
and you'll find the experience frustrating and not that useful. So, prepare in advance what would be an interesting approach that you could do with any of them. We're not talking about 100 companies, right? It's less than 20. So do a bit of preparation there. Uh, the I I have to change glasses to see my notes here. No, so the other one also must mention is the presentations. Okay, maybe the heart of the event, the most important thing will be in the exhibition area, right? You talking to the recruiters. That's why you're there, first thing. But what I see is that sometimes you have, groups of people around the table, and normally are your own classmates. You're not even meeting new people. You're just talking to the same person that you were talking before, that you're going to be talking after. So it's a bit of a waste of time,
Yeah.
right? So if you're not kind of lining up to speak with a recruiter or something, I would advise you to go to the presentations, even if it's a company that you might not be interesting at first, because by
Mhm.
seeing the presentation, you might get interested, right? We
Mhm.
had a few cases of companies that said nobody knew. When the event started, people were lining up to talk to UEFA, to the NBA, to other companies. Nobody was lining up to talk with them. Once they had the presentations, they had the biggest line, and they hired 4 or 5 people in one day at the event. So I think was the company that hired the most there. It was really, really good company. So that might happen as well. Also, for companies, bigger companies that you already kind of know them, you might get some additional information. And also for when you go to talk to the recruiter, imagine that uh, FIBA was there and they just presented at the auditorium. And you go and you meet them outside and you ask her about something that she just said inside,
Exactly.
and she goes, "Oh, well, I just actually mentioned that," and you can create some frustration. Whereas if you're in there and you pick up something interesting that they say, and when you go to talk to them at the booth and you mention it to them, say, "Ah, that person was actually listening to what I was saying." So there's a good chance for you to cause another good impression in the recruiter, right? And the fourth one, change glasses. Yeah, it's we just mentioned that it's not about just landing a job as Muskan said. There's many other things, many other benefits of being there. So I'm not going to repeat all that.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll maybe add
let us go. Yeah, you
I'll
you
maybe
can you want to add something before we go to the
yeah.
question?
Yes, because Elena was asking like how to approach HR people during the fair, and I think like we discussed, these people are here to meet you. So always have this in your mind. They are here with the mentality that they want to hire, they want to meet other people, new people, they want to build their talent pool. So they won't judge you even if you do not know anything about the company. If you go there, if you ask them questions, relevant questions, they always appreciate that. So always like take this opportunity, be confident, just go and ask them about what they do, how is it going, if you have any questions related to the presentation or the panel discussion that they did, follow up on that discussion. I think that really helps, just this curiosity and just this initiative that you go there and you speak to them, that helps a lot. And also it helps you build the credibility for future, that they would know your face or they would at least know your name, and that would make you more credible in the future when you're connected to the company already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, Alena. Um,
Mhm.
you know, it's what we said before. Hopefully prepare before you go to them, but go and speak with them. You won't be disturbing them. They're there to speak with you. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, What else? Do we have any more comments here?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Alvaro asks, would you recommend applying to spontaneous application or wait for those companies to open a more personalized offer? No, if that's what they have at the moment, apply for that. It won't hurt you if they post something next week. Then you can apply, and that's a second position uh, is of your interest. You know, apply to that as well. If it's
Mhm.
specific and matches your profile, apply for that as well. And then if there's a third position that is even more relevant to what you already applied, it's always like this. If there's a new position that is more relevant to you than the previous one, you can apply again. If that's actually, if you kind of want to switch, you want to show them that your interest is in this new one, do that. Unless you already got an interview schedule, so that's the type of thing you can talk about at the interview. However, if you applied for one position and then a new one comes, you think that, yeah, you could apply for that as one, but that's not your preferred one. Your preferred one is the one that you already applied for. Then don't apply again. Stick with the one that is you're more interested in. Let me see. Gabriel asks, I've seen companies. Oops. I've seen companies inviting for spontaneous applications. Typically, is this a way to build a talent pool, even with no specific role? I'd love to understand how candidates can stand out in these cases. So, Gabriel, this is a good question. And there are, I think, sometimes different reasons, and companies might have different objectives when they do that. You know, in many cases, companies that will be there now, sometimes they don't have a job description that is approved to be disclosed, or they're kind of still kind of negotiating a budget if they will actually be able to recruit someone. It's something that might be approved in June, July, August, something like it, but it's in their plan. They know that they're going that direction with the business, uh, but it's not approved, or the job description is not ready. It's for many reasons. um, you know they can't publish something, so they are interested in, since they're going to a job fair, and they will have loads of good candidates there. They want to meet good candidates, understand your strengths, and the way it's going to work is, you don't know what they're kind of looking for,
Mhm.
but apply, tell them what are your strengths, because in a way it's even better, right? Because if whenever there's a job description, candidates tend to kind of skew their interests, to fit that job description. So I apply for one job, I said I'm super interested in A. If another company is recruiting for B, then I apply for that, saying that, so I'm perfect for role B. When you don't have a job description, and people apply, they actually tend to be honest in highlighting their true um, I've got skills, right? Their interests, and all that. So do that, and say you're great at, I don't know, marketing. This is your background, and if a company that you're interested, maybe looking at a marketing role in the future, they might invite you uh, uh, an interview. If the person is actually looking, if the company is actually, they know that they will be recruiting more in the area of HR, legal, operations, then it's likely that they won't invite you. They will invite people, more with that profile. Okay. What else? Over again, is there any way to connect in advance with more delegates attending the event? Yeah. Once you're connected, you actually can connect with everybody that is connected there. So let me show you. So here is the, so I can go to the lobby area here. As I said, uh, whenever you enter the site, actually, let me go back to what it looks like even before, so you're familiar. Okay, so you're here, you're gonna enter the event, and then you have a list of attendees. Here is everybody that we already have 222 people that are registered to attend. You can look for their names or, you know, go and connect with any of them here. So Muskan is there.
Yeah.
I can click here, add friends, send messages, send emails, set up a meeting. So you can do all that there. Okay.
Mm,
Jesus is greetings from Paris. Having participated previously, I highly recommend the iWorkinSport Convention Job Fair to anyone who participates in this year's edition. Hello, Jesus. Thanks for the notes. Nice to see that you're watching. Thank you. And I think this is the last one. Thanks for doing this Q&A, Joao. Do you think companies would entertain summer internships opportunities too? I'm current IMD MBA students and would be attending the event. Yeah, morally, 100%. In fact, there are some that are posting already internships, right? So this is one thing about the job fair. We had people here that got roles as senior managers, as head of, as directors, and it goes to coordinators, and there are some interns as well, internships. So FIBA is one that is currently looking for two interns, right? So uh, maybe that would be a good one for you.
To add to this, the spontaneous applications actually are very relevant here as well, because sometimes people don't have like specific job descriptions for interns, but when you go them, they can maybe accommodate you, and they can find an opportunity that fits your schedule or the number of hours that you can do. From my personal experience, I went to a company and I asked them, and they were, able to discuss an opportunity with me based on a contract. So I think you can always ask them if there are any opportunities which are not advertised, but maybe they can customize for you, such as internships or contracts.
Right. Listen, we're hitting exactly the 1 hour mark. So, Muskan, let me say big thank you for you to participate in here. I think that your insights were really, really good because you have a different POV of the situation. You were there in their shoes 1 year ago. So, thanks a lot for that. So, maybe you say bye before I let you go.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much for inviting. And bye, everybody. If there are any questions, obviously, we're open to answer. And hopefully, see you all at the fair.
Thank you, Muskan, and thank you, everybody. I think there's no more questions. We just hit 1 hour, so it was a little longer than I was expecting. Sorry, sometimes I talk too much. I just really want to give you the details. But thank you for being here. If you have any more questions, you can always contact us, info@iworkinsport.com, and that's it. So. I'm looking forward to seeing you in just over 2 weeks' time in Lausanne, right? Bye bye.